Good morning. My name is Dan Noone. I'm the CEO of G2 Goldfields. We are listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange under the symbol GTWO.V and on the OTC under the symbol GUYGF. We've got a gold project, a high-grade project called Oko down in Guyana. We made a discovery in 2019. We put out our first resource of about 1.2 million ounces of 9 grams a tonne gold in May this year. We're fully financed to carry on through next year by just completing a $13 million finance. And we're currently drilling away on the Oko main with near mine or near deposit targets to come soon. Good morning, Matthew.
Well, good morning to you, and I haven't seen you for a while. I think we saw you back in May. You did a technical session with us, good sesh, trying to understand how you're coming at all of this. What's happened since we spoke to you? Well, let's start with the money, shall we? Just over 13 million bucks. You timed that to come out after the resource, take advantage of that in a kind of choppy market. Was it easy going?
It was relatively easy compared to the market. So there's been easier financings. However, we also did it as a private placement, so we controlled who came into the financing. We really, as the first time we've allowed a lot big issue to happen, we wanted our large funds who could buy it now and buy it at a higher price in the future and want to be there till the end game. So all the funds that come in ran more than $1 billion and have that ability to continue to stay the course. So that was important to us, and we got those funds, and obviously insiders took 1.2 million as well, so that was good as well. So we were happy with that. No warrant on it, at a slight discount to market, and we got that done.
Yeah, well, you did get it done. Any names that we'd recognise? And by the way, how did you do it without a warrant in this market?
The owners, Patrick Sheridan, owns 25%, and he doesn't like dilution much, so he would take a discount slightly on the price. But we want shareholders who want to own the stock. We had a good resource out. It's a great project, so people want to own it. The major funds had come down and visited site, so we had Van Eck come in, Sprott Global came in, Condiri from Texas, and 1832, and 3 of those had been down to site before we did the financing. So it was very much a staged process where people came, they saw what they were buying into, and then we negotiated a price. So it was clear and transparent, and you end up with everyone being relatively happy.
Right. Okay. Well, you can tell us in a minute what you're going to do with that money, but I think that when we've spoken in the past, it's kind of clear that you're getting really super good grades, and you started off quite well. But it's all about the intent and the ambition, because scale's the thing that's really going to bring this to everyone's attention. So maybe just remind us of the economic study numbers out of the main pit, and then we'll talk about where you're looking to kind of add those ounces from.
Okay, so the initial resource is a high-grade resource hosted within 3 of the 5 shears to date. It goes down to 350 metres depth. We had a minimum mining width of 1.5 metres and a cut-off grade of 3 grams a tonne. So we ended up with 1.2 million ounces at 9.3 grams a tonne. Shear 5 at 550,000 ounces at 11 grams a tonne, so very high-grade deposit. That makes the economics extremely attractive. And so we see that as being something which is a standalone as it is. Now, obviously, the next phase here is, okay, can you trace it down plunge? We know these greenstone deposits have great legs to them. But we also know that once you get beneath about 500 metres depth, you're not going to change the scope of what you're going to build at surface very much. So we're very keen to also start hitting the targets which we see adjacent to the Oko main zone. So as we all know, Reunion is to the south of us by about 2 kilometres. They've got the Block 4 discovery. We have the Gani target, which sits between our Oko main and their Block 4, sitting on the same shear zone targets, similar geology. So we've got some initial holes there from holes 37 to 41 back in the early days, which had some good intercepts. So, like had 17 metres at 1.9 grams and 1 metre at 17 grams in one hole. So we definitely have mineralisation continuous along that zone. So that's a target we'll be hitting shortly. Out to the west, we've now got definitely shear 6, and we've put an intercept from that out today. We're starting to push some holes out to see whether there's a shear 7. These would add near surface ounces as we come up the hill there. Also, we've as a function of the way we initially drilled it, shear 5 has still got about 50 metres towards surface that we haven't drilled yet. So we'll have to drill holes into that to get that into the resource. But also then to the north, around our fold, our main fold there, we've got another 700 metre by 400 metre plus 100 ppb gold in soil anomaly, which we've just completed geophysics over, and it's starting to look very similar to our Oko main zone. So they would have lined up in a line to start with. They've been folded around post-deposition. So they're the 3 main targets that we see would change the scope quickly for what we have at the Oko main deposit as it stands.
Right, okay. So you raised a bit of money, right? So you've got this extraordinary sort of structural corridor. Basically, you've got a lot of targets you can go for. You can focus on those 3, which is great. How many rigs are turning at the moment?
We've only got 3. We've got another 2 coming by the end of the month. We had hoped to have them earlier, but everything's a bit slower these days. But we need bigger rigs to target some of the deeper drilling we're going to do. But we'll have 5 by the end of September.
Right. Okay. So, and just explain what you mean earlier. But obviously, what if you go and drill? Because what are you drilling at the moment? About 350 meters, that sort of level, and then we talked previously about maybe going down the same again. Is that right?
Yes. So we talked about going to 700 meters.
Yeah.
As inferred, we wouldn't drill that off to indicated yet. The current drilling that we released today has taken us down to 450 meters. So we've extended it about another 80 to 100. And we still want to continue with that, but we also understand that we need to hit these other targets near surface to really move the dial on the scope of what we have here. Because at the end of the day...
So explain that, Dan, because it's really, really important, because it seems like there's some easy answers to be had in Oko Main, right? But there's a lot more happening out there. You need some like a new discovery at surface. Is that what you're saying?
That will change the scope of the size of the initial plant that you're going to have. So,
right.
Down to 500 meters, you're probably going to have 2 declines. You'll do one modified Avoca mining method to get the maximum tons. That's where you'll get to. And adding ounces further beneath that adds mine life. Doesn't add how many ounces you can get out a year. So near surface and open pit resources there, which there's certainly lots of potential for, is definitely a high priority target. Okay,
so given that you're trying to actually work out what a mine could look like at surface for you, so the mine infrastructure could look like at surface, because it defines where you put the plant, where you put all the facilities and this infrastructure. A lot of chatter. Clearly, we talked about it day one. At the first time we ever spoke about Reunion, they're a $350 million company, currently a $100 million company. It's what people talk about. It makes obvious sense that you come together, and you've also been quite open and honest, say like you would look for someone coming from outside, not necessarily Reunion, but someone coming from outside and maybe make that their problem. But right now, it would seem an opportune moment to have a good conversation about that one, because collectively, if someone does pick up or bring together these 2 companies, it will affect where they put the stuff, how big they build the infrastructure. It seems like that it's the right time. Everything except the markets dictate that it would be a good time to be coordinating these things, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, we definitely act as good neighbours. We share infrastructure as one with the road that comes in, but also when we do trips with analysts and fund managers, we certainly coordinate. We visit their site, they visit ours. We see it as one big district, as do they. And we also see the potential of owning, let's say, half of a 5 million ounce deposit. Half of a 5 million ounce deposit is worth a lot more than a 2.5 million ounce deposit, if you look at it that way, right? So basically, once we get to 5 million ounces within the 2 companies, you've certainly got something which there's not one company in the world who wouldn't step over the line to buy that. So, it's a lot easier to get to half of that quickly than it is to get all the way. And when you put them together, that value is a lot higher than just the single assets themselves. So we understand that. They understand that logic as well. And somewhere down the road here, when we both have resource calculations out and we've both hit our targets around our deposits, there'll be a simple valuation mechanism which could allow something to happen. So, I mean, there's no doubt that building 2 mines on this deposit wouldn't be the smartest thing. And certainly we have common shareholders who've made that point clear themselves. So
right, okay. So would it be fair to say that even though everything's relative, at any moment in time everything's relative, would it be fair to say that now's not the time that either of you would like to have this deal happen? You've got more discoveries to make, more answers to build that you think you can do relatively quickly. And I'm sure they're not enjoying the current market conditions either. So, what are the positive signals that to you? What are the positive signals for you that would suggest the time is right? What would it need to look like?
Yeah, I think both of us would like the time to get a resource calc out to start with, an updated one for us and an initial one for them. The process could well be driven by a third party, and there's no doubt about that. There's plenty of third parties who come to visit both sites. So we'd be, well open to that idea, and then certainly that may be the signal for both of us to move forward with such a merger. But that will come in the future sometime. But it's not imminent, I wouldn't say. But certainly somewhere in the next 12 to 18 months, I think you could see something where we've done enough work and we're both comfortable that we've explored our blocks, not to the nth degree, but shown in their potential that something could happen.
Okay, fair enough. Always a difficult one to kind of fend off, but let's talk about the 5 rigs. What will be 5 rigs? So can you just give me a reminder of where they're going and when, and exactly what you're going to do in each area, please?
Okay, so the Oko main zone, the idea is to take the shears down to a 700 metre depth, so that in shear 3 to 5, that's what we target. And that's where the resource is to date. So that would hopefully give us a double on in the amount of ounces there. Then also
is that 2 rigs, Dan?
That'd be 3 rigs. So
3 rigs, okay.
We have the 3 rigs doing that at the moment. So as the others come with the bigger rigs, we'll take the smaller rigs off and start drilling Guyana, which is to the south of us, and that's the same structure as we see Block 4 on. So we'll be drilling targets there. We've completed geophysics over this area. So we'll drill along there with the idea that we can find near surface, probably more disseminated and lower grade style of mineralization like Reunion. The host rock is the same. It's this magnetic basalt adjacent to an intrusive. Round to the north, we have the Oko North, which looks more similar geophysically as Oko is, Oko Main, and the geochemical anomaly is 750 metres by 400 metres, which is a similar size to Oko Main. So we'll drill that with one of the smaller rigs again. We'll start drilling fences across that. And then obviously out to the west, where we go up the hill to the west of us, we'll be drilling shears 5 and 6 close to the surface, and which is within the laterite and saprolite. And we also have to fill in the saprolite higher up on that western ridge as well, because that will form an open pit in the early days of any mine here. So they're the 3 main focuses. We have other areas we'll get to later on, but the main focus for the rigs this year will be those areas.
Brilliant. Okay, that's really clear. And so one of the areas that you will get to, and there's a question sent in by JR777, big fan. Can you give some clarification on the Amsterdam property that you acquired last year? It says it doesn't show up anywhere, if you don't mind.
We're out there. Good question. We're out there with 2 geos greenfields at the moment. So we're doing some geophysics out there as well. We're stream sediment sampling and rock chip sampling. We're seeing the same rocks out there as we see in the Oko main zone. So those carb shales interbedded with the sediments again. We're getting coherent gold in Pancon anomaly. So it's not just everywhere. We're actually seeing areas where we are seeing that. That is something which we believe we will target. We will generate drill targets sometime this year. Whether we get a rig to drill them between now and Christmas is a question, but certainly we like that area a lot, and we've got 2 guys full time on that at the moment.
Right, and so what type of ore body is that? Sorry, I missed that. In the sense that I think he talks about that potentially being the maiden alluvial gold source for the area. So it's slightly different from what you've been hunting for currently. So how would you come at that?
No, I think he was saying that it was the main source of the alluvials for the Aremu gold rush back in the 1870s. So a lot of the alluvials which has been mined out of the Crux, we think came out of the Oko Mountains there which is in the White Amsterdam claims. So, I mean, also some of it must have come out of Oko and Block 4 as well. But they're definitely laterite capped. They're higher up, a lot of gold shedding out of them. And it's a matter of getting in there and defining real targets.
Right. And when you're sort of going having these conversations on this private placement with the kind of institutional guys, you're saying you're sharing some of the same institutional shareholders with Reunion? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, there are similar shareholders at the institutional scale, yes.
Right. Okay. So they're obviously pushing you, saying, "Oh, hey, you guys are going to come together at some point." That's our expectation. But we're happy to sit back and wait and let you run the plan that you probably just outlined to us, as you will have with them. Is that right?
That's correct, and exactly. And they're comfortable with that. But they don't want to see these things become lifestyle companies which become isolated and not big enough for the big player, because together they are an extremely attractive acquisition target. There's no doubt about that.
Right. Okay. Right. Money's good at the moment. You're going to burn through that at a rate. Where does it take you through to? Did you say?
That could take us through to possibly mid next year. But I think we'd be looking, if we can keep expanding with our drilling, you'd like to think we'd probably get to the market next January, February with a new resource and with a new discovery, hopefully.
And therefore a new raise. Yeah.
Yes, you'd think so. Yep.
You'd hope so.
It all depends on the market.
Keep drilling. Well, that's the great unknown, isn't it? It's sort of quite extraordinary times at the moment. We were talking before the show started about what the dollar's doing, and how long can this keep going? Because I think most CEOs are sort of commenting on the fact that the expectations are that changes in the new year. What are your thoughts in terms of the market at the moment for gold?
I think the market for gold looks excellent in the medium term. I think the US dollar going strong is just money being pulled out of the general market, and generally after that, people go for defensive stocks and inflation hedges like gold. So we've seen that historically, and I think we'll see it again. I think we're seeing some money move back into the gold sector. Probably not as bad as it was 3 or 4 months ago, as far as funds having money. But I think we'll probably see more money come into the gold sector over the next 6 months, for sure.
Brent, Dan, I just wanted a quick update. I just want to see what you were doing with the money, and the sort of general mood in this market. Seems to be going well. Keep it going. Stay in touch. Let us know how you get on, okay?
Thank you very much, Matthew.